How we doing, everybody? My name is Mike Dewan here with the Region Sports Network, and this is another episode of the 100-Yard Walk, where we progress down the field and we just ask any football personalities a couple questions. Coach, I'm here with Coach Nick Testa at Wheeler High School. Coach, how are we doing today?
Good. Yeah, thanks for coming out and checking things out, and glad to have you guys here.
Of course. So we were talking a little bit before this, but we're already kind of a little bit in the off season. We're going to kind of highlight what we're doing now. Talk to me. You guys just had a little bit of spring install, a little bit of workout. Talk to me about where this team is at in the off season progress.
Yeah, we're in a good spot right now. A lot of our, being a small school, a lot of our kids are in other sports. So we've got a bunch of kids in track, a bunch of kids in baseball. So our kids are always doing something, but it's a good opportunity to get the young guys out here and kind of give them an introduction to our schemes and how we do things. So it's good. We're getting a good turnout for early on.
And then for your second season now going to be your second season here at Wheeler. That first season, again, 6-4. We're going to highlight that a little bit. Talk to me about how that first season was here at Wheeler and kind of how is it different for you as a coach going into your second season, if it is at all?
I don't really think there's going to be much of a difference. We'll have more of a target on our back, having won our conference. It really started with the kids. The kids wanted to change. They wanted to build a winning program. And we came in, and that was our goal from the get-go. It wasn't to try and rebuild the system. It was to come in and win football games right away.
Right.
So that was our goal. That will be our goal again this year. We don't want to just compete. We want to play for championships, whether that's conference, sectional, semi-state, regional. Those are our goals, and that'll continue to be them.
For sure. Kind of looking a little bit towards last season, it was a difficult start. Again, going to Hanover and playing KV, then lost a tough one at River Forest. You guys are 0-3. That's not an ideal start to the year. And then you guys string out 6 straight games. Walk me through that journey. Talk to me about where this team was at and 0-3, and then what switched to kind of turn the notch and obviously win your first outright conference title in 10 years, 9 years.
Yeah, nine years, I believe. Again, yeah, I think it starts with the kids. They bought into what we were teaching. They wanted to win, even when it got tough. And Hanover's been one of the best programs in the area for a while now. Coach Kennedy's done a great job at KV, and you saw that towards the end of the season. They were one of the hotter teams going into sectionals. And then Coach Hidalgo does a great job at River. So it's, those are 3 tough teams to start with when you're trying to put a new system in and build the confidence that these kids had lost the previous year. So we just stayed the course. We continued to give them the same message that you come, you show up, you work hard, and you have to have that confidence that you are able to play with those teams and you're able to beat anybody. And they kept putting the work in, and we were able to kind of get on a roll. And confidence is such a crazy thing in sports. We got that first one, and then it started to roll a little bit, and they just never stopped believing, and it ended up pretty good for us.
I definitely want to touch back on the confidence side, but I always like to stop at the 50. The one thing that'll never change about a football team is their logo usually, and their colors, and it's always fun to kind of stop here at the 50 and recollect. We were talking before this, a lot of money and a lot of trust is going into the athletic programs here. Talk to me about, again, kind of highlighting it. This was the first season on this turf field. We got some more coming in, softball fields and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
What is that like as a coach to kind of realize, okay, this is a community that trusts what we're doing and they're buying into the bigger picture?
Yeah, they want to win. Again, it's not just about being competitive. They want to win, and they're investing in all the athletic programs. Like we were talking about, there's going to be a turf baseball field, turf softball field, turf auxiliary field. They're going to put a nice new entrance into this field. Like you said, this is 1 year old. We got on it the Thursday before our first game. It just shows that they're taking athletics seriously, and I couldn't be prouder and more appreciative of everything they've done for me and for all the athletics.
Awesome. That's awesome to hear. We talked about confidence just before we hit the 50-yard line. What are you seeing in these kids now? You said there was really no difference on your end as a coach, but now the kids, again, a solid season under their belt. They're starting to buy in as well, obviously. What are we kind of seeing from these kids now that have that kind of swagger and confidence? That's obviously so important in sports.
And that's it. It's having that swagger. It's no longer can we compete or we hope to compete. It's we're going to compete. And Yeah, we have a target on our back, and you can either do one of two things. You can kind of hide from that and pretend it's not there, or you can meet it head on. And that's our message to our kids: is that teams want to take us down now. We're here. We're not running. We'll be here. We're going to put up a fight every week, and that confidence, that swagger, is going to go a long way.
Love it, love it. You got some dudes coming back. One name I saw who was on our first team all area was Bryce Compton. You're a receiver yourself,
Yep.
and I saw going into this previous season, you kind of challenged him. You were kind of again seeing what he could do. You know he had potential. He showed it this year. Talk to me about again what's to expect from him, the senior receiver, as well as you got some. Of course, Caleb Klimzak coming back. You got Jaden Ortiz. You got a couple guys who are very solid on both sides of the ball. Talk to me about again some of these returners.
Yeah, so when I first got the job, I had watched some film on Bryce, and he's got all the talent in the world. And I challenged him in the beginning of the year to be the best player in our conference. I thought he had the capability to do that, but it was how much he wanted to put in, the work he was going to do. And he came out, and from week one, he didn't back down from anybody. Whenever we needed to make a play, that's where we were going. Towards the end of the season, teams knew that, and it didn't matter. He was able to go out there and make plays. Now, like you said, it helped. We had Jaden Ortiz, and Time Medical stepped up. We had other options, so teams couldn't solely key on him, but he's only getting better. He's just starting to see his full potential, and I think any college that's going to end up with him is going to get a great kid, and the sky's the limit.
Anybody else who's again going to surprise some people this year?
Time Medical last year had 500 yards receiving. I think he had about 28 yards per reception.
He made honorable mention for
Yeah,
all areas.
and he also had 5 interceptions, kicked a 48-yard field goal. So he kind of did everything for us. A kid that to really keep your eye on, Jake Piazza. He was actually our starting running back and got hurt in week 1, about maybe half the quarter of week 1. He was able to come back towards the end of the year, but we didn't want to push it with a knee injury. Sure. And Jaden had stepped in and did an amazing job. Yeah. So, but now we have both of them back, and Jake's more of a speed guy to where Jaden's a little bit more of a bruiser. So we have a nice little combination in the backfield to go along with Bryce and Tyne, and of course Caleb coming back. So.
Need that balance. All right, we're in the red zone now. I always like the little red zone rapid fire.
Oh yeah.
You ready to go?
Yes, sir.
All righty. You were a receiver back in your day. I always like to ask this question to former players. Who is a receiver that you like in today's game? It's a big receiver game. Who'd you like growing up?
Growing up is easy. That was Randy Moss. That was my guy. My quarterback from high school, Bobby Pezzavento, started his career at Miami, Ohio. I went to go see him play, and they were playing Marshall, and Randy Moss was on the field, and the things he could do were just amazing. So that was my guy growing up. Currently, Justin Jefferson's probably the best receiver in the league.
Good answer.
When you need a play, it doesn't matter if he's double teamed or not, he's going to make the play. So awesome. I'd say that's my guy right now.
Gotcha. Favorite sports movie?
The Program.
Okay.
Program. It's maybe a lesser known football film, but it's a classic.
Do you have any superstitions when you're kind of getting ready for a game? Did you have any as a player, or do you have any now as a coach, or both?
As a player, no. I didn't really have any superstitions. Now, so we got this nice gray last year, and we wore it second game, and we lost. So we went to all black.
Interesting.
I think it was game 4 that we won. And we didn't.
We strung out a couple.
We strung out the rest of the season wearing all black.
Right.
So that, and then I got candy that I keep Skittles in my pocket during the game.
Beast mode.
Yeah.
You got to recharge.
Yeah.
If you could point to one or maybe a couple guys, I would say is your biggest mentor to get you kind of as a coaching mentor. Would you say if you could decide on a couple, who would they be?
It would be Dale Carlson, was my college coach at Trine University. He also ended up at Valpo University for a while. He kind of got me started. Bill Melby gave me my high school start at Lake Central. Tony Klimzak brought me on and really helped me understand offense. a lot better than I did. And then Rick Good.
Gotcha.
Rick was so great at building programs and having that relationship with the kids, and I really took a lot from that. So those are the guys who really kind of took me under their wing and showed me how it was
Love it.
done.
We'll go two more. I think I know the answer to this, but what has been your favorite memory of your first season as a Wheeler coach, or up to this point?
You know, the easy answer would be to say to win conference. That's not where I'm going to go. I'm going to go the Boone Grove game because that's our big rival. It was a close game where it could have went either way, and our guys found ways to make plays at the end of the game. And just to see the excitement from not just our players, but our student section came running onto the field, and it was homecoming, so that kind of added to it.
Always fun to round this out as we score a touchdown. What is left to be said about this upcoming Wheeler team? What is there to expect, and again, get people excited for it?
I'm really excited because we're going to have a lot of options. We're going to be able to throw the ball. We're going to be able to run the ball. We're going to play good defense. We're going to attack. We're not going to sit back and rest on what we did last year. We told the guys we're not even going to talk about it anymore. It's a new year. And we have the target on our back, and we're going to go out and meet that head on and try and take it to people.
Let's do it. That's a touchdown. You scored plenty of these touchdowns, right?
I had quite a few.
A few here and there.
I'd like to let them know how many I had.
That's another episode of 100 Yards, of course, with Big Testa. I'm Mike DeWan, Zach Miller behind the camera, all with the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.